When it comes to tooling, all of our tooling is kind of becoming AI focused. So our paywall editor used to be like basic drag and drop, what you see is what you get. But now we have like an AI version of that. So you can just give it your design system, you can give it your screenshot of your app or app. It will generate everything for the paywall.
React Native cross-platform, Flutter, everything. RevenueCat have always been like very popular for having so many SDKs. And I think a lot of like the success of RevenueCat, I might be wrong about this, is just the level of SDKs you guys offer, right?
Yeah, we kind of have to go where the developers are. Yeah. So like all of those are mostly based on the two native SDKs, the Android and iOS. And then we have, for example, the React Native one that then uses those under Code, for example. But then we have, for example, like Kotlin Multiplatform one, we have one for Unity, hopefully one very soon for Godot. Like everything where you have developers, we have to kind of have the SDK there, yeah.
How is RevenueCat using AI in their new toolings? I guess you guys have an MCP server for like RevenueCat, and you are one of the quick movers on this MCP server. To like let people like look at like data and let the AI and agents analyze the data and then come up with predictions and maybe do some onboarding testing. So what other kind of like tools are you releasing in terms of like AI?
Oh, we have a lot. So we were, like as you said, we got really quickly into the MCP stuff last year, but we also had this lucky like stroke of luck essentially that a lot of the LLMs are already like they've learned RevenueCat stuff before. So we had this thing that people are like, yeah, my agent just added RevenueCat. Like I just asked like, can you monetize my app? And it added RevenueCat, which like it was a very good thing. We like that. We've now noticed that we kind of have to provide some stuff on top of it. So for example, we have our own skills now that kind of make it easier for the different platforms. But then like when it comes to tooling, all of our tooling is kind of becoming AI focused. So our paywall editor used to be like basic drag and drop, what you see is what you get. But now we have like an AI version of that, so you can just give it your design system, you can give it your screenshot of your app or app. It will generate everything for the paywall, and that's how it works.
So all the assets and everything, which are usually like such a pain in the ass to like build. Like and all the descriptions and everything, you know?
Yeah. Another thing is like we kill him. I don't want to personify an API like an AI, but we have something called Rico, which is like your RevenueCat revenue assistant essentially. You go to the RevenueCat dashboard, you can ask like, how is my app doing? But you can also ask like, what experiments should I run? So for example, it will tell you that, hey, based on state of subscription app from this year, you should test out your trial length, for example. And here's the experiment on how you should do that in RevenueCat. You should test these pricing levels. It also has all our support materials, so you can just ask like SDK stuff from it. Like, hey, I'm getting this error message, and it will give you the right stuff, how to fix that. So it's like a very versatile tool for that. Inside the company, we use AI for basically everything. We're token maxing.
Token maxing. You guys host like probably the biggest hackathon in like, I think like in the developer community, to be honest. How did that come about? And like, how big is that going to be this year?
Well, this year it's going to be closer to 500,000 in prices, maybe even more, way more categories. We started Shipathon in order to get people to ship their apps. So we had a lot of people who had been building their app for 2 years. We organized the hackathon and they were like, hey, this was the one that actually gave me the push to release it finally. So that's the only requirement, that you build a mobile app and you release it for the first time during the hack period of the hackathon, which is 2 months. So we're aiming for that, of course, this year. We're aiming for 3,000 apps released during that period. On top of that, we're also bringing in students this year. So we know that like the barrier of entry to the apps ecosystem is quite high. So for example, you need to have an Apple developer account, you have to have a Google developer account, both cost money. So what we're doing this year, we have a special category for students that they don't have to like submit their app for App Store. It's enough that they get it running, they make a video and they send their code for us to review, and that's it. And they're also like a new category. Wow. If they win, we give them money and they can hopefully release the app as well.
Is there any like projects in RevenueCat coming up which you can talk about, which are like Project X, like crazy, like new product, you know?
I can give like hints to it. So AI is going to be bigger. A lot of the things that we're going to be solving are things that customers have brought up that would be nice to have. For example, multi-page paywalls and like you can almost build like whole onboarding flows, which then convert to hopefully paying customers at the end with a paywall that shows your pricing things. Ads are going to be a big thing. We're going more there. So more support for ads, more like actually showing your ads data, like how well those are monetizing, showing ads, all kinds of those things. Virtual currencies, which is a feature we released last year, is going to be even bigger this year. Getting some very weighted changes coming up soon. What else? React Native Web is hopefully going to be way bigger. Yeah, we're going to put more emphasis on that because web filling, web purchasing is going to be a big thing. A lot of things coming. And that's like few months.
You guys move fast.
Yeah, that's almost our motto. Like it is after like help developers make more money, do it very quickly. No.
Codex or Claude?
I'm Claude all the way. We've built support, like trust between each other, and we're like, all right, I'm with you on this. So yeah, not hating on Codex, but Claude just feels like more like my agent.